Alrighty, yo. Touhou Project and Versus. This is... And I woke up a few hours ago. This is not really a fun topic. So, where should I start? Let's just start with how the fandom treats most Versus stuff. Now, the Touhou fandom is interesting when it comes to Versus. We got ourselves people who like to meme a lot. So, generally, when you approach them like, who's the strongest character in the Touhouverse, some people are just going to simply reply with, Cherno. Because she says she's the strongest, so she must be the strongest, even though time and time again she's been completely dominated by everyone else. Now, if there's people who will simply just stay by that and still not understand that you're being serious about Versus stuff. There's some of them who do like Versus. Quite a few of them I know. They're really awesome people. And then there's some of them who get like, okay, let's see who's the strongest in the universe, in the Touhou universe. And those debates get way too heated. Like, they will be really angry if you get something wrong, if you say something they don't agree with. Like, it's scary. Not even lying. It's like Dragon Ball levels of shut up, your opinion is wrong.
Please. You're hurting my feelings. I don't like it at all.
But generally, with how the reason why tier lists of all the characters is so random among the fandom is due to the Touhou universe being very hacksy. Every character has their own unique ability, and it's freaking ridiculous. We got two people who are absolute immortals, so they can't age, they can't die from sickness, they just can't die in general. They regenerate. I think, okay, well, I've heard a lot of people interpret it as they die, but then they just immediately come back, or something like that, or like they have I don't understand it. Hard to wrap your head around immortality. Then we got people who can stop time and pull themselves up from alternate dimensions. You know, like normal people. Then you got people who can manipulate the border of space, time, life, death, everything. Manipulate the border of existence, manipulate the border of... It's scary. With how much everything gets manipulated, it's just... Oh boy. Then we got people who fight so many people that it's really hard to scale. Scaling is really difficult in the Touhou universe for one main rule, which I'll get to in the last part. So scaling issues. Well, let's just start off with how weird scaling is. So, let's start off with fairies. So fairies are the lowest fodder in the Touhou universe. They're absolute, pretty much garbage. You can beat them up with no problem. They're like bottom of the food chain, so to speak. Of course, then you got the lesser yokai, like people like Wriggle, Rumia, maybe Mistia. So they're not really strong. And you also got your high tier fairies like just Cherno. Clownpiece, I have no idea where she places. Then you got your mid yokai, and then your maybe the people who get rid of the yokai. I don't remember what they are, exterminators or whatever. Then you got your high yokai and gods and all that fun jazz, even though the highest yokai is above all the gods in the universe, and it's... Why? She just knows it. She's just like, yo, what's up? I'm here now. What do you want to do? Stupid. Now, the the reason why most scaling in Touhou Universe is difficult is because of the main rule. So first let's give context to the rule. Originally, long ago before Reimu showed up, which is when the Touhou games start, the entire Touhou world was pretty much like you can kill anyone pretty much. You just go ahead, kill anyone with your abilities, do whatever, prove you're the strongest and all that fun jazz. And what ended up happening, there was just so much bloodshed and all that I think it was a Hakari ancestor was like, okay, listen up. We're gonna have to make rules to keep this from going any further. And everyone's like, you know what? Sure, why not? What are the rules? So they sat down and gave the simple rules. 1. All combat must be carried out in Danmaku battles. Rule 2. Danmaku must be a kind of art that shows who you are as you fight, which is why all the patterns are supposed to be pretty and filled with, all unique and filled with personality. Rule number 3. Danmaku battles are not fatal. They can cause injuries, but they're not allowed to be completely fatal. That's that third rule. That's where the problem is. This means that Yukari, the person who can manipulate all the borders, is not allowed to destroy fodder like Cherno. She's supposed to play on equal playing field as the little fairy. As you can see, that could lead to people saying, oh, everyone scales to everyone then. When there are very large power gaps between, like, everyone. And it's really hard to tell which one. You could just say that everyone has that one feat applied to them because, frig, everyone scales to everyone because of the rules, right? And, honestly, I think it's should be set up as a sort of tiering system, maybe. So you got your lesser yokai, and you got your standard fairies. They get their own separate feats with themselves. You got your lesser yokai and Cherno, who get their own separate level. You got your mid yokai and maybe the exterminators. Then you got your high yokai and gods, who all get their own tier. Basically, those tiers share different feats, depending on like what level of power they have in the Touhou universe. That's sort of how I work things out. So you got your like fairies who are below island level, Cherno who's the lesser yokai are like island level because of Cherno's ice block feat, which is calculated to be island level, which I'll link. You got your mid tiers who I don't know, and your high tiers who I don't know. But yeah, generally it works like that. In my opinion, anyways. Yeah, using Touhou versus is way too difficult, generally resulting in the most confusing debates, because we got people who, like Yukari, who manipulates borders of everything, who is like faster than light. So what are you gonna do? If she's faster than someone, does she theoretically just win that? Because she could just manipulate the border of her own speed and power and just freaking dominate? Or she could just manipulate the border of life and death and just dominate like that as well? It's... they got Yuyuko, who could just kill someone instantly if she wanted to, because she manipulates death. But the rules state you can't kill someone, which also means that using things like Death Battle means if you have any of them kill anyone, that is out of character. That makes them break their universe's rules. Oh my gosh. As I said, Touhou is a really weird universe. You can just only characters maybe like Yukari would probably break the rules if they knew like well enough that they were outside of the universe's rules. What other vampires? Yeah, vampires. Vampires in Touhou, they're really rare, and they showed up when after the spell card rules were introduced. I think huge war broke out, and eventually they came to an agreement that the vampires would not attack people or yokai. How yeah, they're not allowed to kill or attack them, but they're a but if an outsider shows up, so like someone outside the universe, a human from Earth, if they show up, then they're perfectly allowed to straight up just attack. They can attack that person without any hindrance from anyone outside, and without being punished. I mean, they'll probably be punished anyway because that's what the Shrine Maiden and the Magician is supposed to do. But what are they? I mean, what are you gonna do? I mean, they did beat up the vampires plenty of times before. Rip. I don't think this cleared up anything, actually. But I made my attempt, tried to explain a bit of Tolan versus... I'll probably just go into depth on certain characters eventually. This is all from memory as well, so... Blah.
Touhou and versus. This is very difficult. Please don't yell at me. Uh.